What's up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're gonna be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours, where yet again so much news to discuss. It's ridiculous. We're going to talk about, of course, transfers. Inigo Martinez signing is done and sealed. We have the new updates coming out about that. Messi's return also going to be discussed, how there's a new analysis about that and how Messi himself wants to make the return as well. More transfer updates on Bernardo Silva, Ilkay Gundogan, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Yannick Carrasco, and then, of course, talk about player sales with all these players coming in. Players who have to leave the club this summer. We have an update on Ferran, Torres, Ansu, Fati, and also loan updates. Umtiti, Abde, Nico, Lenglet, Dest, all those big updates, and also renewal update on Sergio Busquets, who is on the verge of renewing his contract at Barcelona. Injury updates on Pedri, Dembele, Araujo, De Jong, and now Andreas Christensen. Also, how Barcelona are planning to do a postseason friendly again like last season. And finally, we have the big updates around the Negreira case, where Barcelona have won and are walking away with all the details and how the club have been finessed by the media. Lawsuits have been dished out. We've been filed for defamation against many journalists and many media outlets, and we do have the exact time frame of when Joan Laporta will call a press conference to speak entirely on the Negreira case. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 48 hours. Now, firstly, we do have more confirmation of the Inigo Martinez signing for Barcelona this summer. First, we had it from Jorge Miro a few days ago, and now we have it from Fabrizio Romano. He's come out saying that Barcelona are close to a full agreement with Inigo Martinez as a free agent. Barcelona turned down other options to give a priority to the Inigo deal, but the deal depends, of course, on financial fair play. Barcelona turned down other options. I'm very curious to know what those options are. I think one of them is definitely Ivan Indica, which looks like now that deal will not be happening, as the club have gone for Inigo Martinez. So again, full agreement with the player and the club. All that is left is to see how much fair play margin we do have in order to register him. But Barcelona's first signing of the summer is essentially confirmed, and it will be the free agent Inigo Martinez. Now, the next free agent that Barcelona want to sign this summer is, of course, a midfield reinforcement in Ilkay Gundogan, where we are making contacts with his agent, and an agreement is now in the process. Also, Candacev came out saying that Ilkay Gundogan himself has been attracted by the idea of playing for Barcelona for quite some time now. I think if you were an OG fan, I think back in when Gundogan was at Dortmund, we were linked with him heavily a lot as well, but then he ended up joining Man City. I think he joined Man City and then was out for a year or two, and apparently Barcelona were still interested in him, but in the end he recovered from his injury and stayed at Manchester City. I think Gundogan would be a good signing, especially with the current circumstances that we do have in the midfield, how we can't really find a young or in their prime pivot that's affordable and feasible to come in at the moment. I think Gundogan will provide great reinforcement, can play in the pivot, can play in that box-to-box, and of course will add great numbers for Xavi's 4-men in midfield formation. So I think this will be a good signing. I think the club will be working on it. The question now is, can we get it done or not, especially before the summer transfer window? For example, with the Inigo Martinez deal, you get that done now, end of March, that's done, deals delivered. You can then focus on the next one. So hopefully in the next few weeks the club can get that full agreement with Ilkay Gundogan, or if not, move on to the next option. But keep your eyes on Gundogan. He's going to be the next signing for Barcelona if we end up doing it, as he will be a free agent. So negotiations can be done at the current moment for the next few weeks, but he is the next target on Barcelona's summer transfer list. Now, another Manchester City midfielder that Barcelona have been targeting for quite a while now, but looks like that will now be heading in the opposite direction, is of course the signing of Bernardo Silva. Now, Mateo Merito from Inigo has come out saying that Bernardo Silva is PSG's #1 objective for the summer, while in his head, his preference is Spain. Barcelona remain very interested in him, and Jorge Mendes has talked about him with Barcelona, but Silva's price and salary seems inaccessible for the Blaugrana. I think Bernardo Silva would be a fantastic signing for PSG, whether Messi leaves or not. I think he can revolutionize that midfield that has been dead now for quite a while. Of course, Verratti is world class, but the man's fit like, 1 month of the season. I think Bernardo Silva's train to Barcelona is now done. I mean, we're looking at other options. We're trying to reinforce in other areas. His price is going to be ridiculous. I think He's probably valued at around 50, but I think City will ask for around 70 for him this summer, maybe even 60 if you can really negotiate well for him. Bernardo Silva is currently on 200,000 euros per week. He turned down a 300,000 euro offer from Man City a few months ago, so he's going to want that money as well. I think this signing is slowly but surely slipping away from the hands of Barcelona. Not because we are like, letting him slip away, but more so we are kind of letting it go at this current stage. I think the only way Bernardo Silva will join Barcelona at any given point is if Barcelona can get a good deal out of it, and by good deal I mean very, very on the considerate, excellent deal side. So keep your eyes on this, but I just can't. With the club's current summer transfer plan and what we do need for the team right now, I just cannot see Bernardo Silva being added to the squad unless Ferran and Ansu end up leaving, and then that way we need their winger slash center attacking midfielder. Then maybe that's when he becomes an option. But I cannot see Bernardo Silva at this stage coming to Barcelona. But keep your eyes on it just in case, because the club do like him. Xavi likes him. Joan Laporta likes him as well, and of course Jorge Mendes, his agent, does have the excellent relationship with Barcelona. So we'll wait and see on this one, but again, I think Bernardo Silva is moving farther and farther away from a move to Barcelona anytime soon. Now, along with the midfielder, another priority for Barcelona this summer, and the main priority is of course to reinforce the right back position, and this is the position where Barcelona want to spend the most amount of their budgets on. Over the past few weeks, we have been talking about other targets: Diego Dalot, Benjamin Pavard, Juan Foy, João Cancelo, and a new name that we have been linked with before, but a new name recently over the past few months has now emerged again, and that is Vanderson, the right back Brazilian for Monaco. Joaquim Pereira from Sport, who is the #1 source in regards to Brazilian players being linked with Barcelona, he's come out saying that Barcelona are working to sign a top-level right back, and Monaco's Brazilian right back Vanderson, age 21, has won integers recently. He is already fully aware of Barcelona's renewed interest in him. The coaches have been following his progression all season, and in the coming days his agents are expected to meet with Barcelona to define a strategy if the club decides to go for him. And there is a unanimity at Barcelona that Vanderson at some point in his career will become a top right back. Moreover, his salary will fit within Barcelona's policy of wages, which is restricted by FFP of course. However, a fee must be negotiated with Monaco. So apparently Barcelona really like this Vanderson kid. His transfer value is around 30 to 40 million euros, but apparently Monaco want around 50 or 60. We talked about this last summer, of course, how Monaco want, I think, around 50 million euros for him, plus 10 million euros an add-on for a 60 million euro package. I think now you can probably bring that down to 50 with him having one less year on his contract. This one for me is a big risk because we've invested in these up and coming right backs before. For a good example, Nelson Semedo, he came in 35 million euros, up and coming right back. The club thinks he'll be great. He was shite. I mean, he had some of his moments, Nelsinho Semedo, especially some classicals he played well, but apart from that, consistently throughout the season, he wasn't that great. But with this being a Brazilian, Brazilians at some point peak at some point, especially when the club are very interested in him. You can have Vanderson and Rafinha down the right-hand side, have that Brazilian connection through many, many years to come. That could be an option as well. For me, it all comes down to the price. I get if you want to back Vanderson, I'm fully behind it, but I don't want to be spending upwards of around 40 million euros for him. At that point, I'd rather get João Cancelo. He can play right back and left back, and he's world class at the current moment. You can use him for the next 4 or 5 years, although Vanderson, of course, is looking more so at the long term. So Vanderson's name is increasing a lot in this right back position. I think you have to keep an eye on him. I think now the top three would probably be Vanderson #1, João Cancelo #2, and then Juan Foy #3. But the options are there for Barcelona to make a heavy investment in the right back position. And right now, you could say the leading favorite at the moment is Vanderson. Now, a position for Barcelona this summer that isn't the priority at the moment, but it will be later on in the window once we make some sales and signings, is of course the forward position. And one player that Barcelona are keeping an eye on to bring in as a reinforcement in case we sell some attackers this summer is Yannick Carrasco. Keep in mind, it is already confirmed and officially announced by both Barcelona and Atletico Madrid that there is a buy option for Barcelona this summer for Yannick Carrasco for 15 million euros. But Tony Juan Martí from Relivo has come out saying that if Barcelona will have enough salaries placed, the club will go for Yannick Carrasco, but with the intention of offering a maximum of 9 to 10 million euros only, not more, which means that Barcelona will not execute their option to buy, but they will offer a bit less under that. And in the case that Atletico Madrid refuse, Barcelona will then study other alternatives. Now, if Barcelona are planning the signing of Yannick Carrasco, that means they're planning some sales up front. I think what the club are going to try and do is sell on, hypothetically, probably this is the case, sell on either Ferran or Ansu for 40-50 million euros, and then bringing in a Carrasco to replace them for 10 million. That way you pocket around a 30-40 million euro profit. Bada bing, bada boom, you lose too much quality. Not really. With Carrasco, my issue is his age. Of course, he's upwards of 29 years old. He's going to be coming to the, end of his career, so to speak. Right now, you could say he's in his prime. He's been, one of Atletico Madrid's more important players over the past few years since his return from China, I believe, post-COVID, if I'm not mistaken, or just pre-COVID. So I think Yannick Carrasco is a good player. Apparently, Xavi absolutely loves the player. He's been talking to him over the January transfer window to see if he would be interested in a move to Barcelona this summer. So again, this one's the one that you keep your eyes on, but not like Bernardo Silva, keep your eyes on, probably won't happen. This one's a keep your eyes on, probably will be some movements, I would say, in the next few months. Because if Barcelona want a cheap winger to get on the market right now, the main name is Yannick Carrasco. Now, a forward who Barcelona are considering bringing back to the club this summer is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who did leave the club, of course, last summer due to FFP issues and a great offer put on the table. But now Aubameyang, poor Alba, has had an absolute terrible time at Chelsea, and apparently Chelsea are considering, and highly considering actually, terminating Aubameyang's contract, making him a free agent. Mundo Deportivo, Ferran Martinez has come out saying that Aubameyang is in fact a low-cost option for Barcelona this summer. Xavi knows what he can offer, and he's still in constant contact with Ousmane Dembele. The relationship between Barcelona and Aubameyang is still excellent. If you haven't seen already, Aubameyang was pictured in the dressing room after the 2-1 win in the Clasico last Sunday, so the relationship is still there. He was back there with Ferran Torres, celebrating, all that sort of stuff. I love Aubameyang, right? I love him so much, but my issue is, again, we gotta move on. Unless we don't get Victor Roca and we don't get Yannick Carrasco, then I think Aubameyang, a year contract, bring him back, I have no problem whatsoever. But I think we should be targeting other players at the moment. I've seen Patrick Kluivert, he's come out with his opinion saying if I was the Barcelona sporting director or CEO or whatever, if I could sign two strikers, it would be Gonzalo Ramos from Benfica, who's probably like around 100 million euros, and Roberto Firmino, who of course will be leaving Liverpool this summer as a free agent. I'd rather sign Aubameyang than Firmino on a free agent. If we're going to go for a free striker just to, provide cover for Lewandowski for a season, if we don't get Victor Roca, if we get him and then loan him back out and we see someone else to come in, if we sell Ferran and Ansu, I would go for Aubameyang. He knows the club, he knows the system, he knows the players, knows the city, knows everything, and also he's an excellent player. I think at Chelsea, just the moment wasn't for him. He went there under huge pressure, number 9 shirt. Thomas Tuchel didn't really use him too much, and then once Thomas Tuchel started to use him, Graham Potter came in, benched him. Then he had some disciplinary issues like Aubameyang does when he's not happy. You can't blame him. In the end, though, he will be leaving Chelsea this summer as a free agent, and he will be available for, of course, damn near no price. Apparently Barcelona will offer him a low salary, and he has no problem accepting that as well. So again, like Carrasco, keep your eyes on Aubameyang, because if Ferran and Ansu leave and all this stuff happens and we need someone to come in, Aubameyang will be available for free, and his salary will be very, very cheap in terms of financial fair play. Now, another forward who will also be a free agent this summer and also wants to make his return to Barcelona is, of course, a man that I also love, but love more than Aubameyang, is the greatest human being to touch a football, Lionel Andres Messi. More encouraging news about his return. Now, RAC1 have come out saying that Leo Messi positively values the option of returning to Barcelona for both sporting and personal reasons, but he is aware that it won't be easy due to La Liga's financial fair play rules, but the wounds of his traumatic exit 2 summers ago have healed with time. There are currently no negotiations, and Barcelona said that Messi's return will depend on his will to begin with. Sources from La Liga do not rule out anything, but describe it as extremely complicated to complete. So again, Messi wants to return, Barcelona want him back. The talks are slowly but surely starting, but FFP will be the main issue. Now, Tony Juan Marti from Relevo also came out with a Messi update. He's come out saying that even though his camp doesn't publicly admit it, those close to Messi do not rule out Barcelona. On a personal and family level, Leo feels this is at his home. Xavi in the locker room, we haven't have him back, but the club must do many things before that first. The club is trying to find solutions for fair play. A miracle would have to be done, and of course many sales as well. Within the club, they don't like how everything ended, but also thinking that getting him back for just 1 year would imbalance their roadmap. To be fair, that's not a bad point. Look, I see what the club are thinking. We want to bring Messi back. He's the GOAT. The way he left was absolutely disgraceful. He deserves a better return. But we have to, do all these things like sell Ansu, sell Ferran, get rid of Franck Kessié, do this, do that. Jordi Alba cut his salary. Busquets cut your salary. Ter Stegen cut your salary. De Jong cut your salary. Then Messi can come back for 1 year. I understand that point, but it's Messi. I mean... I just want Messi to play one more time for Barcelona. I want him to leave on the right foot, but it's the club may think of it, okay, we've already let him leave. We already went through that traumatic experience. Why bring him back, be happy, and then let him go again in another year or two, and then be all sad again? I understand that point, but I think the club should still try it. See what you can do. See how you can do. I would come up with multiple formulas to bring back Messi, and decide which one's the most easiest, then leak it, see what the fans think, the socios and all that sort of stuff. Because if you're telling me, oh, sell Ferran, Ansu to bring back Messi, I think a lot of people would do that. If you're telling me, oh, sell Ferran, Ansu, and Franck Kessié, you're on a bit of a 50-50, because then you have to go in and replace these players as well. You have to bring in free agents. You got to replace Ferran and Ansu Fati with Carrasco. Then you have to replace the Kessié with Gundogan. Then you have to bring in someone else. So there is a lot to be done to bring Messi back. I'm just happy that the club are considering it and Messi wants to return as well, and that there are talks happening, because I think if it can come to an agreement on the best formula possible, then that way it can be executed. So we'll wait and see. I think this will pick up in around May time. I think right now, international break, Messi's with Argentina, celebrating the World Cup. He's going to come back with PSG, clinch Ligue 1, then after that, I think the talks will start to intensify, especially now with Barcelona signing players like Inigo Martinez, pending FFP, reaching an agreement almost with Ilkay Gundogan, pending FFP, wanna buy Carrasco, pending FFP. All this stuff we had to wait. I think the financial fair play margin will be coming out, I think beginning of May, if I'm not mistaken. The last one came out, I believe, beginning of February, something like that. So we'll have to wait and see when that list comes out. But again, the club are expecting and are starting to plan for a possible Messi return. But like we said from the beginning, it will be very, very difficult, damn near impossible to execute. But miracles are meant to be broken. Let's now discuss the players who have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 48 hours. First up is the main two players that I've mentioned throughout the whole entire video so far, and that is, of course, Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati. Javi Miguel from AES, who of course is one of the more reliable sources in Barcelona and is very, very close to Xavi, he's come out saying that the two forwards who could possibly leave in the summer are Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres. The club needs income to sign their desired players. Ansu Fati's situation continues to be hotly debated internally. On one hand, it is considered that a sale can bring a big economic injection, and the doubts generated by his physical condition don't help either. But on the other hand, a sale is considered immature since he's still so young. To sell Ferran Torres, Barcelona need around 35 million euros at least to avoid losses due to amortization. His departure would be more of an economic need, as the coaches still consider him useful. So Javi Miguel saying this: if Ferran Torres is sold, it is purely due to economic reasons, not sporting. The coaching staff love Ferran Torres and see him as a player for the future. With Ansu Fati, it's a bit different because, he has physical problems, and, the money he'd bring in is more than Ferran Torres. If we were to sell Ferran Torres, it has to be at a minimum of at least 35 million euros. You want to make a bit of profit, so the club probably asked for around 40, 45. You paid 60 for him a year and a half ago, and he hasn't done too well. So selling Ferran Torres is difficult, and also the coaching staff want to keep him. So all roads at the moment are pointing towards Ansu Fati, and I think selling Ansu is a big risk. I will go on a limb and say this: I would rather loan Ansu Fati than sell him. I think get a loan fee, 10 million, send him out there, see how he does. I think the kid still has huge talent and huge potential, because it's such a risk, especially with the huge investment that was made last year with his contract renewal. He gave him the number 10 as well. He hasn't had a run out. Let's be honest. He plays one game and he plays as a striker against a low block Getafe. What do you want him to do? Perform miracles? I'm not trying to defend Ansu, but this is a very interesting situation. I personally have no idea what I would do, and this is where, as a fan, I say thank God I'm not in charge, because right here, this moment, I would bottle it. I really would. I have no idea, because I'd rather keep both Ferran and Ansu than sign Yannick Carrasco. I'd rather have Ferran than Carrasco, and I'd rather have Ansu than Carrasco. So for me, it makes no sense to sell Ansu for 80 million euros, buy Carrasco for 10 million euros. I would rather just keep Ansu. That's just my opinion personally. But we will wait and see, because the club needs money. They need financial fair play margin, and they have to get some money in somehow. And this is the area where Barcelona can value the most. And Ansu Fati a few months ago was untouchable, and now there's options. Apparently, Ansu Fati, it's like either sell him or loan him. They don't want him in the squad next season whatsoever. With Ferran Torres, they need at least 35 million euros to sell him. Anything less, you're suffering massive losses in the books. We'll wait and see what happens with this. We'll make a little prediction here and say that I would be shocked if both of them are here next season. But if I were to predict, I would say they both end up staying for next season. So I'm contradicting myself, but that's honestly how I feel. So we'll wait and see with these two players. I think this is going to be a very hot topic to the whole entire summer. As you know, Barcelona need to make some money, and this is the area to do it. So we'll wait and see what the club decide, but keep your eyes on the situation. This will definitely drag on for the entire summer, as the club needs money, and we could see Ansu Fati and or Ferran Torres leave the club this summer. Now, a Spaniard who does have a very good chance of leaving Barcelona this summer is the current 5th choice center back at the club, Eric Garcia. Having Miguel from AES has come out saying that in the defense, only one exit is contemplated at the moment. Everything indicates that Eric Garcia could be sacrificed, especially if Inigo Martinez is signed. All other defenders in the squad, including Jordi Alba, have the absolute confidence of the coaching staff. This one for me is very interesting, because I think Eric Garcia will stay unless he requests to leave, or if a good offer comes in. And by good offer, I mean above 15 million euros. I would not sell Eric Garcia anything under 15 million euros. And also, I thought that Xavi wanted 5 center backs. All of a sudden, now we're going to sell some play. I understand we need money, we need financial fair play margin, but we all know Eric Garcia ain't making that much. He came as a free agent. He came at literally the worst time in the club's history, so he definitely made a huge sacrifice to come. I cannot see him making that much money. I think the thing is, right, I still think there's a player in Eric Garcia. I've seen him at Man City and how Pep absolutely loved him to bits. Luis Enrique started him at the Euros and also loved him to bits. There's gotta be something in there. I personally I would loan him out if he asked to leave. If he's happy to be the 5th choice center back, I would keep him. He's on low wages, have him in training. If we have, 2 injuries in the center back position, he'll be of use for sure. You can rotate easily as well. Although you do have Marcos Alonso, who does play as that center back as well. So, you know what? I'd rather get rid of Alonso, obviously, but we just renewed his contract, so clearly he's gonna stay for another year. Keep your eyes on Eric. I keep saying keep your eyes on this whole damn video, but Eric Garcia's situation will be very interesting to see. I think if he does request to leave, he will leave 100%. But if he doesn't, and the club will wait for a good market opportunity, maybe even consider a loan as well. But his future is definitely all over the place. This is, of course, pending the final decision of Inigo Martinez. If Inigo Martinez joins, then definitely Eric Garcia's future is in doubt. If he doesn't, he does have those options to stay. But wait and see what Eric Garcia himself decides. Now, a squad player who will 100% leave the club this summer, and 100% it will be a loan move, is Pablo Torre. Having Miguel from AES has also come out saying Pablo Torre is expected to be loaned out to a first division club next season. In no case will it be a permanent transfer. The coaches are aware that in one more year later without regular minutes would halt his progression. Now he says there, in no case will it be a permanent transfer, and this is because the club invested heavy money in Pablo Torre, 20 million euros they invested in this player. What's going to happen with him this summer? He'll go out on loan to a first team Celta Vigo, Mallorca, Osasuna, whoever it may be. Go out there for 1 year, play regular minutes. We sign Gundogan to replace him. Then when Gundogan gets old, you bring back in Pablo Torre. I've seen Pablo Torre every minute he's played this season, obviously. There's a player in there. I mean, his games against Ceuta and Intercity, he played very, very well. When he came on for his few cameo appearances at the beginning of the season before the World Cup, he played very well. I think even for Barcelona B as well, in those minutes he got there, he also played there very well. My issue with Xavi this season is that why, when you know you're not going to use Pablo Torre, would you not just send him to Barcelona B and let him play there? It made no sense. I think the decision to keep him registered in the B team was excellent, but he only played like, what, 2 or 3 games? Didn't make sense to me. But his exit is very, very confirmed and imminent for Pablo Torre. He will 100% leave the club this summer on a low mood to develop his career and hopefully come back a much better player to Barcelona. But again, the big thing here, no sale on a permanent transfer will be considered whatsoever for Pablo Torre. Now, on the topic of loan moves, of course, Barcelona currently have a few players out on loan who will be returning this summer, and we do have an update on some of their situations. Firstly, on Clement, Lenglet, and Sergino Dest. Having been from AS came out saying that everything seems to indicate that Sergino Dest and Clement Lenglet will return to Barcelona this summer, as the Tottenham Hotspur and AC Milan respectively will not purchase them, but they are not in Xavi's plans. The club would love to send them out on loan again or sell them. I think we can sell Dest. I think Lenglet will need a bloody miracle to get rid of. I think Lenglet is, to be fair to him, has gotten some decent minutes at Tottenham, especially under Conte. He's played regular minutes, but just they don't think he's worth it. With Dest, he barely plays for AC Milan. Barely even touches some grass. But he does have that market value. I think the club hopefully can get rid of them permanently in any way, shape, or form. I would also not rule out Lenglet and Dest being included in some deals, hypothetically speaking. Let's just say you want to go for Bernardo Silva. You offer 40 or 30 million euros to Man City plus Lenglet and Dest. Chuck them in there. See how that goes. I think the only teams that would accept like Dest and Lenglet are like middle ground teams, you know, like a Sevilla or like a Real. So let's say, for example, we want Zubimendi. We can offer 30 million plus Lenglet and Dest. I think Sociedad would be interested in that, but maybe want a bit more money, which is understandable. So these two players have absolutely no future at Barcelona whatsoever. In some way, shape, or form, they will leave the club this summer. The question now really is how. Now, another player who didn't have much success on his loan move this season is, of course, Alex Collado. Having been from AES has come out saying that Alex Collado, currently on loan at Elche, is not part of Xavi's plans either, and as of today, the doors for his possible return are closed, so solutions will be studied for a permanent transfer is also possible for him as well. Now, we have heard since Xavi's arrival that Xavi does like Collado the player. He thinks he's a great player. He thinks he can be useful in some way, shape, or form, but this season now, with the squad being improved dramatically and having all these other options, you know, we're trying to sell Ferran and Ansu, Collado has no chance, especially with the resurgence of Abde Ezzalzouli, who we'll talk about in a few minutes. Collado's got no chance. We've highlighted Collado for quite some time now. I think it's time to cut our losses, get rid of him this summer, sell him, even maybe free transfer, chuck in some percent on future sale clauses or buyback options, whatever the case may be. Collado's future at Barcelona is coming to an end. He will be let go this summer for sure. Question now is, how will the operation happen? What will Barcelona get out of it? Will they get some transfer fee, maybe some money, percent on future sale clause, or buyback option? We'll have to wait and see, but Collado's future is no longer in Barcelona. Now, a player who's had a very successful loan move this season is, of course, Samuel Umtiti. Big Samu is back, and Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that Lecce expressed their willingness to continue with Umtiti, and Barcelona have already received a call, but the player considers that it's still early to make a decision. Barcelona and the player admit that it's very difficult for him to return to Barcelona. So Umtiti not in Barcelona's plans, but of course, an exit will be easy. I am in shock. An Umtiti exit being easy? Sheesh. Big Samu, man. Respects to him. He's done very, very well at Elche. He's gotten the minutes. He's been fit. We all know that fit Umtiti is a fantastic defender, but over the past few years. Not only has he not been fit, but he's also been kind of shy on the pitch as well. But shout out Samu, he's back and he's going to be hopefully bring us in some money. That'd be great. I think it would be very, very difficult, but he does have a few years left on his contract. So if we can get some money from Lecce, apparently Inter Milan are interested as well. I mean, bloody hell. So we're looking at Serie A clubs, I think. Of course, he's been playing in the Serie A this season. We could see a mid-table club go for him, like Atalanta, Lazio, Roma. I think that'd be a great move for Umtiti. So keep your eyes on this one situation, as well as Barcelona will be letting go of Umtiti this summer in some way, shape, or form, in some capacity, and it will be a very simple exit. Now, players' loan move that was a bit on the 50-50 scale, who's had some good times and some bad times, is of course Nico Gonzalez, who did get some minutes for Valencia, but then went out injured for around 3 months, and now has come back and slowly but surely will be getting some more minutes. His future at Barcelona is in doubt, and more so on his future, whether or not to keep him in the first team or send him out on loan again. Having Miguel from AES came out saying that the Barcelona coaches have full faith in Nico Gonzalez's ability, but consider him too immature to take up an important first team role at the moment. Barcelona's wish is that he plays on loan at another club as well and returns in 2024. As of now, a permanent transfer is not contemplated. So the club do not want to sell Nico. They want him to go out on loan again, get regular first team minutes, and then come back in 2024 fully established as a senior first team player. Very, very similar situation to Pablo Torre, where Pablo Torre and Nico, the club want them to go out on loan, gain experience, and of course mature as a player, and they don't really want to sell. I think if the club had to sell one of them, it would be Nico Gonzalez, simply on the fact that the investment made was in Pablo Torre was ridiculous. Of course, offers can change the opinion of the club. If any offer comes in, it will be studied and analyzed. If someone offers 30 million euros for Nico, I have no doubt in my mind the club will accept it. 5 million, probably not. 10, 15, 20, the club will think about it. So we'll wait and see with Nico. Again, the club's plan right now is to reload him again next season, get him some first team minutes and mature as a player. Although a sale is not ruled out completely, it's still possible. His future most likely will be secured for Barcelona, but in the Mercado, anything can happen. Now, the only player coming back from loan who can actually have a big chance of joining the first team directly at Barcelona is Abde, who alongside Samuel Umtiti has had a very successful loan move at Osasuna. Having Miguel from AES has come out saying that Abde is the only one of the Barcelona loanees who is in Xavi's plans for next season. On the other hand, the club will be looking to sell or send out on loan the rest of players returning this summer. Again, we already talked about it. Xavi's staff believe that Abde is a great reinforcement for the left wing position, as they do not have a player who's good in 1v1 situations as he is on the left flank. So again, you go back to Ferran and Ansu Fati. If you sell one of them, you can bring in Abde as a direct replacement, and if you sell both of them, you bring in Abde and Yannick Carrasco. I think Abde has done very, very well on his loan move, but I still would not consider his return confirmed, guaranteed quite yet. We still have to get rid of Ferran and Ansu. If we don't, I think Abde will be sacrificed. We've heard from Matteo Moritu many of times that a lot of Premier League clubs and Serie A clubs are very, very, very interested in Abde, and I can't blame them. I still would be shocked if we come August 2023, we start the season and Abde's in the first team. I would be shocked. I think 100% he will do preseason, and then after that, his future will be decided depending on other transfers and of course what offers do come in. So we'll wait and see what happens with Abde, but at the moment, from all the loan players returning, he does have the best chance of staying with the first team. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, and the only update we do have is on the contract renewal of Sergio Busquets. Now, having Miguel from AES, of course, very reliable and very close to Xavi, has come out saying that Busquets will renew his contract with Barcelona for sure. And also, Ferran Martinez from Deportivo came out saying that Sergio Busquets and Lionel Messi, as well as their families, continue to have an excellent relationship. Busquets will reflect on his future alongside with his family, and will also have one eye on his friend's future. In fact, they have been planning over the last years to have their careers together. If Messi stays at PSG, Busquets will be much closer to continuing at Barcelona, but if Messi returns, Busquets will no doubt stay in Barcelona. So essentially, if Messi goes outside of Europe to the MLS or Qatar, Busquets will consider to follow. But at the moment, all roads currently pointing to a Busquets renewal. Juan Martin's come out confirming this, Helena Codes from Cope, and now we have the Javi Miguel confirmation that Busquets will renew his contract. So waiting for a few more journalists to say it's, done deal. We're waiting for Fabrizio Romano, Gabriel Sanz, Ferran Martinez himself as well. He's been a bit iffy on it. Gerardo Romero as well. We've heard it's 100% confirmed now that the club have offered Busquets a new contract, 1-year deal, 1-year option, but now the reports are flying in that Busquets has accepted that offer. We'll wait for further confirmation, but El Capitano could be staying for another year at the Blaugrana. Let's now discuss some of the injury updates surrounding Barcelona over the past 48 hours. Before Sunday, we only had Dembele and Pedri out. Now we have Dembele out, Pedri out, De Jong out, Araujo out. Freaking Christensen has been gone down for Denmark as well. I am losing my goddamn mind. Now, okay, with Christensen, there's no updates. He will be flying back to Barcelona later on tonight for further tests, but he has gone down holding his hamstring, pending further confirmation. But we got this news about Ousmane Dembele and Pedri yesterday. Juan Martin from Olivo came out saying that Pedri is now 100% ruled out of the second leg in the Copa del Rey against Real Madrid. Moreover, Ousmane Dembele's participation is now also very much in doubt, and it's very, very unlikely he will turn out for that game as well. Apparently, Pedri, not apparently, it's confirmed essentially, but not officially. Pedri has suffered a relapse in his injury. We tried to rush him back for the Clasico last Sunday. He got injured again, and Toto Costa came out saying that he will be out for another month, which means that when we come back from the international break, he'll be out for another 2 weeks. We're right now. If the Copa del Rey second leg against Madrid was tomorrow, no Pedri, no Dembele, no Araujo, no Frankie De Jong, and no Andreas Christensen. From our Gala 11, 5 players are out. 5. That's almost half. We're almost at the halfway point, lads. Bloody hell, man. What I hate about Barcelona is that we don't get injuries for the first 4 months of the season. Then last 4 months are just coming left, right, and center. We'll wait and see. I am, of course, if Christian's out for more than 2 weeks, we might be in the shitter. We really might be. Eric Garcia, remontada, vamos. My God. We'll wait and see what happens with all these injuries. Again, we are expecting that Araujo and De Jong will be back for that Copa del Rey second leg. I think De Jong for sure will be back. I think Araujo is still a 50-50. Pedri and Dembele probably both out. And Christian, we will have updates on the next video. He did again go down for Denmark yesterday. He has come back to Barcelona today for further tests. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past 48 hours. Firstly, the club are planning to have another end-of-season friendly game like we did last season with the match against Sydney FC, or was it All-Star FC for the Australian League in Sydney. We're having something like that again. Fernando Polo from Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona are working to increase income and are planning to play a post-season friendly, just like last year in Australia or in an Asian country like Japan or China. That's where you can make the serious bucks. They're also clear about a pre-season tour to be in the United States. So what happened last season from May until August in terms of playing, copy and paste that again. Of course, the club did make a lot of money in that sense. Going to Japan and China as well, I think would be a great idea. That's where a lot of the majority of the fans' bases are. They have money there, of course. I think it would be a great investment and great move to go to one of those Asian clubs. They don't get Barcelona action too much. All the Barcelona games are at like 3 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever the case may be. I personally think that would be a great investment. Then, of course, going to America for the tour is easy bank again. So typical plan for the preseason, but we will have another post-season end of season friendly game again to, of course, increase the revenue and, of course, pay for what we need this summer. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is give you guys the big updates surrounding the Negreira case around Barcelona over the past few days, where Barcelona is taking nothing but W's. We have now official confirmation. The Treasury saw no evidence that the payments to Negreira influenced refereeing decisions. The prosecution office found evidence of reports on the Negreira case in which there were videos of how Barcelona players acted regarding certain refereeing decisions, so they can work on this and react in a better way. This also supports Barcelona's position as well. That's how we stated it. The prosecution also found referring reports of Real Madrid matches made by Negreira. They found evidence of several reports, including one of Clement and Mateo Lagos. This supports Barcelona's position as well, who say these payments are for refereeing advice. In some reports of Clement, Negreira recommends Barcelona keep a positive relationship with him because he's involved in several important matches. And in some of Lagos' report, Negreira analyzes Lagos' decisions during matches. So again, the club paid money to Negreira to analyze the referees, how they make decisions, all that sort of stuff, not to actually influence them, and apparently everyone did it as well. And again, more reports coming in. The investigation carried out by the prosecuting office had not yet been found any evidence of Barcelona trying to bribe the referees. Now, when this was leaked and reported and basically confirmed by every single media outlet, Barcelona went full guns blazing. Sport came out saying that Barcelona have filed 5 lawsuits against journalists for defamation regarding the Negreira case. Several more lawsuits are in the process as well. Barcelona will even set up an email so that socios can send the club information published in the media that they consider likely to be sued. In this way, the club wants to involve the fans in the club's defense in these moments of maximum tension and constant attacks. World class, that is, by Joan Laporta. We're all pissed off that we're being attacked. He wants to bring everyone together to attack everyone back in the media. We have now begun filing lawsuits against journalists and media outlets who attack Barcelona on purpose, which of course leads to defamation. Now, one of Laporta's friends in the media has been speaking. He came out saying the club is currently preparing up to 14 lawsuits against journalists and media outlets who tried to tarnish the club's image. These are just the first of the batch in terms of lawsuits being dished out. Ferran from Sport came out saying that Barcelona received up to 6 reports on referees from Enrique Negreira's son Javier every day on the 3 referees in charge of the matches and also on the 4th official. The report of referees consists of personal profiles of the referee followed by technical characteristics like their position on the field, their dealings with players, their willingness to show cards, if they let play continue or fouls are called constantly, and if they're also too vocal. All those little details. A small analysis of referees were made also on previous matches in charge of Barcelona, with all the mistakes made and the decisions being analyzed. Barcelona were also given reports of referees in charge of title rivals Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. Curiously, they also got reports for pre-season friendlies as well. So again, the club have in-depth analysis on the referees. That way you understand how they make decisions, how they influence matches, and that way you can counteract that in game. We did not say here's a million bucks, give us a penalty at some point in the game. Barcelona did not do that in any way, shape, or form, and that's why we are fighting back. Candidates came out saying the referee reports Negreira made for FC Barcelona are now being discovered by media outlets. In fact, others are already removing and deleting their previous information, which suggests otherwise. So media outlets, companies, and journalists are all deleting their tweets about the Negreira case because they all see that Barcelona is walking away with the big fat W. An official statement came out from the treasury of the Negreira case saying that there's no record of any payment to any referee. There's also no evidence that these payments could influence results as well. In conclusion, clear as day that Barcelona played Negreira to analyze the referees and to give Barcelona a report. I think Atletico Madrid, Rayo Vallecano, Deportivo La Coruña, Real Mallorca, there are other clubs who also did this as well. This is for Negreira to make more money on the side and also to benefit Barcelona as well. They know like, oh, Lagos loves pizza and loves to give yellow cards at the 60th minute. Okay, 60th minute, don't do anything and give this man a slice of pizza. That way he can be a bit happy and, you know, not be such a douche on the pitch like he always is. Clement, the exact same thing. And this is why Barcelona did not pay any referees. Therefore, W's all around. But with these W's comes a bit of concern. Now, we have had an official announcement from UEFA saying that UEFA have opened an investigation into the Negreira case, and of course Article 31.4, UEFA ethics and disciplinary inspectors will carry out an investigation into a possible violation of UEFA's illegal framework. So now UEFA are also going to analyze the Negreira case. Apparently the Negreira case was only for La Liga, but sometimes Mateo Lagos, Clement referee in UEFA competitions as well. Now, Mundo Deportivo came out saying that after receiving the notification, Barcelona have made themselves available to UEFA and have permitted the willingness to collaborate in everything. In this sense, Barcelona will send them all the information that is required in this regard. Likewise, UEFA has also informed Barcelona of an appointment of 2 people who will carry out the investigation. Curiously, one of them is also investigating the Super League as well. So, you see this happening, you're thinking, oh god, UEFA are on our arse, but apparently it's just precautionary reasons, and the club are not worried whatsoever. UEFA can't do anything either. They just have the right to know the information that's happening in regards to the Negreira case. Victor Navarro from COPE came out saying that Barcelona showed tranquility after the announcement of the investigation. No disciplinary file or UEFA on the Negreira case. They consider it normal and will go give all the information they required and have. Sport came out and confirmed this as well. From the app Barcelona, they say they are very calm and stress-free on the fact that the investigation has been opened and not a disciplinary file. They also point out that the investigation appointed by UEFA has already investigated the Super League as well. So UEFA, again, just curious. They have the right to know. This is just an investigation that's been opened, not a disciplinary file. So UEFA cannot put any punishment whatsoever on Barcelona. We cannot be banned from the Champions League for the next 20 years, 6 months, whatever the case may be. They're just investigating it to see how it is. You're probably wondering why UEFA jumping in, a month later. And it's because of this son of a gun. Xavi Tebas. Aides have come out saying that the Negreira case was brought to the European Union by Xavi Tebas, which is why UEFA launched an inquiry, and they do not completely rule out complaining to FIFA. Next, bro, I am fasting. I ain't trying to swear or I wish nothing but the worst for Xavi Tebas in life. I really do. I mean, I never thought in my life I would hate someone more than Bartomeu. This man is slowly but surely creeping up the table. Madre mia. He needs to be stopped somehow. The thing is, he's in so much power the club can't do anything. All you can do is wait for the next election, which I believe is next year, if I'm not mistaken. But this bald twat just won't leave us the hell alone. Now, you're probably wondering when are Barcelona going to come out and speak on this officially. Fernando Polo from Deportivo came out saying the forecast is that President Josep Maria Bartomeu Fernando Polo came out saying that the forecast is that President Joan Laporta remains silent at least until April, around the week of the Girona match, April 10th to Easter Monday time, before he appears in front of the media to give an explanation regarding the Negreira case. Barca continue to collect information, and it's not an easy task. Lawyers are working on the audit and everything to be analyzed. The club wants to have every single small detail so they can answer every single question, how much complicated they might be. So the club want to be 1,000,000,000% prepared once they officially call this press conference. This press conference is gonna be huge because he's gonna come in, Joan Laporta on the podium, tell everyone what the Negreira case is, what Barcelona did, why, how much, and everything. Then he's gonna open up for the media to ask him questions, and he wants to have those answers. This is what a president does: defends the badge like no tomorrow. My president, Joan Laporta, I have no doubt that he will defend this club's colors till the day he dies, and he continues to do so every single passing day. Bullets and weights are put on his shoulder, and he still comes out on top. So we'll wait and see. At this point, everything points to Barcelona not being guilty since the beginning. Really, we'll wait for UEFA's investigation. So in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks time, Joan Laporta will speak publicly about the Negreira case. I will definitely do a coverage on that as well, as it will be a very, very juicy topic and juicy press conference as well. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to firstly, of course, is on the return of Lionel Messi. Do you think it will happen or not? Secondly, on the signing of Inigo Martinez, what are your thoughts on that? And also about Eric Garcia as well. Would you loan him out or sell him due to the Inigo Martinez coming in? Thirdly, on Sergio Busquets' renewal, you think it'll end up happening or not? And what are your thoughts on him renewing and staying another year at Barcelona? And lastly, your thoughts on the entire Negreira case, how it went, how it's going to be analyzed, and what do you expect to happen in the press conference in 3 weeks time. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.